and analysis from our panel of political contributors.
Welcome back, everyone. Time for Take Three. A new panelist on Conklin and Company. It's our pleasure to have Marlene Harris-Taylor of the Toledo Blade.
Thank you.
Marlene, good to have you.
My pleasure to be here.
And a wily veteran of Conklin and Company. I wouldn't say grizzled veteran, London Mitchell. I'd just say wily.
Thank you.
Of Cumulus Radio. Let's get straight to the unemployment conundrum, the unemployment benefits conundrum that Sherrod Brown spoke of. All that being said, Democrats, lockstep, pretty much said, yeah, this deal's good enough. Let's go ahead and pass it. And that created some controversy. Marlene, you wrote about that in a piece on Friday.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had the privilege of talking to Representative Capter right as she was leaving from the floor after passing that vote. And she said she was really torn about it because she felt so strongly and passionately about that unemployment compensation being extended. And she and a group of Democrats, they did a last-ditch effort to try to get that included in the bill. But she said in the end, the people were voting to stop this shutdown madness in Washington. And
absolutely.
So she just could not stop that train from rolling.
Yeah. London?
I think the figure, earlier this week, the Associated Press released a figure from a new poll. 9 of 10 Americans don't have any faith in Congress. They don't like what's going on. And everybody in the House faces re-election next year. Somebody's got to step up and start showing some leadership. I think Boehner was out front trying to be the man taking control, being a leader. I think that you've got
laying into the ultra conservative.
Yeah, and I think they're reading the polls. We're just up to here with the what would you call it, the lockup on Capitol Hill.
Well, the do nothing.
The
do nothing Congress.
Aren't happening.
The do nothing Congress.
And somebody's got to step up there and be a leader.
Okay.
Absolutely. And Boehner stepped out there and really gave it to the right wing of his party.
Yeah, he really did.
He
really
did.
So is it more about election being reelected, London Mitchell, or really let's try and figure this out and avert government shutdowns for years to come?
Skeptical me says I think they're looking at 2014 as the election year, and they're trying to get out in front of the issues.
All right. Let's bring it back closer to home now. We had Larry Sykes on. He becomes a new member of Toledo City Council. Jack Ford is also a new member of Toledo City Council. We have some strong personalities
Absolutely.
Who are going to be stepping up there at Government Center come January 2nd. Really strong personalities. How does their entrance, London, change the dynamic of leadership in city government on council?
I think that's going to really depend on how well the Democratic Party starts unifying itself and working together, because obviously if you go back to the mayoral election where you had 2 very strong Democrats running for mayor and kind of split the vote. So I think that that's really going to be the issue. Democratic majority on the council. I'm sure that a Democrat will fill the seat that is being vacated by Collins. So I think if they're united, we'll see a direction coming.
There is one caveat there, London. I think a Democrat will fill the seat initially, but there will be an election
in
May to fill that seat
formerly
permanently.
held by Rob Ludeman.
Formerly held by Rob Ludeman,
Collins.
and that south end of town is known to elect Republicans.
Yes.
So there may be a Democrat there for a short time, but we don't know who's going to have that seat over the long term.
Interesting dynamic going forward. We know that in January 2014, Chief Diggs will not be part of the leadership at TPD. Not a surprise. I think many saw the handwriting on the wall here. But that being said, what does it mean? Now we're hearing about a name bandied about as possibility the replacement Marlene, and you're dialed in on that too.
Yeah, there is a name being floated about. He's a gentleman who's already on the police force. His name is Bill Moten, is the name that's on the streets, if you will.
Yeah.
And the mayor is supposed to have a news conference tomorrow where he makes this official, where he talks about who's going to replace the police chief. And what I know about Mr. Moten, I don't know him personally, but I understand he's an older gentleman. He's been on the force for a while, but people seem to really respect him, is what I'm hearing about him.
Yeah, London going forward, the mayor's transition, I mean, familiar faces, but we kind of saw this breakup coming.
You know, Mike Collins told me more than once during the campaign. He wanted new faces, younger ideas coming forward. So it'll be interesting to see. But you know, going back to the police chief, I'm going to miss Chief Diggs. He was a person that I thought really was looking into the future. He brought all that technology to the forefront to make the operation more efficient. Facebook has turned out to be a great crime-fighting tool.
For not only Toledo, but other agencies as well, other
I'd
cities.
like to see that continue.
That'd be great if it would. And I mean, and this is not to disparage folks, you know, over a certain age, but you know, folks over a certain age don't tend to be as acquainted with technology, shall we say? So let's hope, if it is Mr. Moten, that push towards more technology continues.
Do you know if Mike Collins, does he text? Does he text?
I don't know if he texts. You know,
I don't know if he texts, but he's on Facebook.
No,
he
well, there
is
you
on
go.
Facebook. Yes, he absolutely is.
That's important.
Yes.
New year coming up. Optimistic for the city. The way council has the new face of council, new mayor. Are you optimistic, Marlene?
I am actually optimistic because I think, you know, just like whenever you get a new president, there's always a honeymoon phase, if you will. And I think most people are really rooting for the city and rooting for Mayor Collins and waiting to see if he will be able to bring forth all the plans that he put out there in his election. So I'm optimistic, and I'm hoping that he can.
London.
I get on my Facebook about my speaking platform about this a lot. I think that Toledo really needs to work on its image. We have a great opportunity with the economy going up. We really need to get focused on the image, how other people see the city, so that they want to come here and live and enjoy what we all know is a really nice place to live.
It really is. It's a tremendous town. And we want to say thanks to Mayor Bell for all of his service as well.
Absolutely.
Fire chief, fire marshal, and mayor too.
Right.
Marlene Harris-Taylor, you did great.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Lovely debut. London Mitchell, thanks as always. Make it a great Sunday, everybody. We'll see you next week on Conklin and Company. Take care. And all this week on 13 ABC Action News.